Next on the deck.
Powered by Riverside.
Whoa. Got a remix?
I turned it down and realized it was all the way up. And was like, Chris would be complaining about his ears again.
Absolutely, man. I don't need anything to
Oh,
believe.
it's good, man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to On the Back Hash, episode number 32.
30.
Jack. That was one of his numbers, right?
I thought you said a cuss word. I was like,
No, Shaq.
I mean, we're only like 20 seconds in. Oh,
No.
Shaq. Okay.
Shaq, man.
I thought you said church.
No.
Don't ask me how.
Oh, I ain't heard nobody say that. Is that a Hoptown? Was that a Hoptown thing?
Not really. I hear it because the only reason why I know about it is because I don't know if you follow Warren G.
Yeah.
Warren G says that all the time. Like he's got like his stuff like with sniffing griffins. He's got his like spices and stuff. And after every video, he's always like, "Get you some sniffing griffins, church." I was like, Warren G, that is so.
Yeah, it really is. What was it though? There was a saying that they had in Hoptown. I can't remember.
That was one of them.
It was Joe. It was Joe.
Joe. Oh man, that's so Joe.
Yeah. Joe. Well, somebody tell me how they got started. It was about a dude named Joe, I believe.
It has to be.
But yeah, they used to say that all the time. Like, man, that's so Joe. Like, what?
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah, people don't understand us.
I got your own dialect down there.
Listen.
But everybody have a good week.
Yeah, man.
It's been a busy one, or it's been a busy one, and it's going to continue to be a busy one for me. That week before spring break.
Will's on permanent spring break, but we only got one more week until spring break. I can't.
You can do it.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
You got any plans?
Well, it's my youngest son's birthday over that
Hey.
week, so we're going to the zoo. So, hopping up to Cincinnati, go pay my respects to Harambe.
True that.
And do all that stuff. So.
I have nothing planned as of yet. I know the Monday of that first Monday of spring break, I am going to probably be a hermit because I'm going to need to relax.
Yeah, so you got it coming. You got circuit championships this week, man.
Yeah, circuit champs on Sunday.
Yeah,
So,
it's heating up.
it is.
Close to the end.
And kind of segue into that, everybody's heading into circuit championships this week. I think a few circuits had theirs last week. Yeah.
Yeah, Florida's already had theirs.
Yeah, FCC
Of course, they
had theirs last week. But, excuse me, a lot of them are this weekend. Some of them started Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on all circuit. Which I guess SCGC is just a lot bigger than I thought it was. I mean, it's taking 3 days to get all the way through it.
It's called
It's gotten
guard.
bigger.
Yeah.
It's gotten bigger.
It's called what, Chris?
I said it's called guard.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Guard.
I think I looked at it. There's like 30-some guards going Saturday night, and then Friday night, and then 70 going Saturday. Did I say Saturday twice?
With our guard is going Saturday morning. So
Mm-hmm.
during that time.
Yeah, it's and then there are 30-something wind and percussion groups on Sunday. So it is a lot going down. 37, 7. So there's 107 guards between Friday and Saturday.
Jeez.
Yeah. And
That's
then,
insane, dude.
and then 33 winds and percussion groups going on Sunday. So
Little tap taps.
little pat pats and tootie toots. So, but yeah, so
How many times do you think you're going to see the Lone Star percussion commercial?
none at SCGC.
Not at SCGC.
None at SCGC.
That's-
Well, I think I say no, but
Wait,
well, not Lone Star. It's at Diddle.
Yeah.
So if they've got the
and I think they were
on, then
we might see one. I think they were going to. I think they were going to figure out and see if they were going to be able to let them use the video boards. I think that was the thing that they asked. I remember hearing them talking about that. So we have our meeting. Well, by the time this comes out, yesterday. So it'd be interesting to see if that pops up. But yeah,
that'd
so
be cool.
yeah. Make it more of a really cool atmosphere for sure.
I mean, it's a cool venue. I don't know if a lot of people that listen to this podcast have been to Bowling Green and been to Diddle Arena, but like it's a pretty sweet setup for the area.
It works well.
Yeah, they do a good job, and of course, I'm always going to be biased towards it, but
yeah,
I think it's a good place to get a run in and all that kind of stuff. Get you, ready for what's coming down the road. So we do get a little bit of
because I'm pretty sure
good stuff from that.
Because I'm gonna assume, I don't know if we are or not, but our circuit champs are this weekend as well.
Okay.
Apparently.
You gonna go?
I plan on it. Yeah, it'll be down in Seattle, so
okay.
It's close. Try to hit that up. I'm basically going to get the same lineup that they had at the regional. I just realized down in Portland. I didn't get to make that because that was this past weekend. But
yeah, man, you have to. Maybe you can vlog it up. See what you see. Talk about it.
Word.
That'd be cool. So yeah, so lots of circuit championships. I think IPAs, Indiana Percussive Association state finals are Saturday, I think. If they're not this Saturday, they're probably next Saturday. Most of them get theirs in before World Championships. So lots of important things coming up for a lot of people. And all that's coming up because we just ended the last regional week for WGI. So lots of moving and shaking going around, people putting themselves in positions to maybe be a final spot and, maybe win a medal. So today we're going to briefly kind of go over those scores. Just kind of talk about maybe like the top 5, maybe a couple of shows we saw over the weekend that kind of stirred our interest a little bit because I actually was able to catch some cards this weekend.
I did.
I was proud of myself. It was a very relaxing Sunday, and I got to watch some guards and figure out some stuff that was happening with them. So let's run this down real quick. Scholastic A, and these seedings are up to date. So if we just kind of look, your top 5 right now, going by seeding score, with the score all the way over here to the right. So this is how they will be seeded into the neighborhoods and the rounds come come WGI championships. So Scholastic A, your top 5 is South Lake Carroll, Noblesville High School, Clearbrook, Dobbins Bennett. Sorry, I forgot. And Mount Vernon High School. So some familiar names and some kind of new ones sitting up there. And I think for Scholastic A, they take the top 20. So if you look at 19, 20, 21, and 22, you got Mount Juliet sitting at 19. Bellaria Memorial Combined School sitting at 20. And then Fort Walton Beach High School out of Florida and Hudsonville High School out of 22. So, those folks around here, you still got a shot. Like anything could happen that
really can.
over the next couple of weeks. Panels and things like that can change. There's one school. I watched them. Where are they? Are they going to Worlds? Hamilton. Did you see that show?
Hamilton. Did not. I didn't catch any of the A.
Okay. So Hamilton High School is kind of doing a show that I've always kind of wanted to do. I just haven't had the balls to do it. But you've kind of seen other people do this. But basically, it's I forgot the name of the show, but it's basically built around like what you see at a guard, like in a winter guard show. So the backdrops spell backdrop. They have a prop on the floor that has the word prop on it. All their flags have the word flag on it. I couldn't see, but I'm pretty sure the rifles have the word rifle on it. And then the floor itself said something along the lines of a big like I'm paraphrasing, but like a big fancy floor to enhance the winter guard show. And then the voiceovers,
yes, PETTY.
Yeah, and the voiceovers was just like, now we're going to use a voiceover to talk over the awkward cut in the color guard music. Like it was good, dude. It was funny. They made finals. I think they ended up 9th or 10th in finals at the Indiana Regional in Class A. So, but it's a really cool show. They are sitting 25th right now, tied for 25th. But it was I enjoyed it because I was just like, okay, I see what you're doing, and you're doing a really good job with it. So kudos to them. I keep an eye on it for them if you get to catch them. Really, really funny show, and I really like it. Kids spun pretty well too. So, in Scholastic Open, your top 5 right now is Somerset Academy at Pembroke Pines, Florida. Centerville High School, Mount Carmel High School out of California, Shenandoah High School in New York, and tied for 4th with them and Brownsburg High School out of Indiana. So we got a few plethora of places kind of representing there. And then centering around your 15 mark, you got Franklin Central 13, Naperville Central 14, William R. Boone 15, Westlake High School out of Texas 16,
Lyman High School 17. American Fork High School.
Yeah, man. You never heard of them?
What?
Yeah.
No, what a name. I want to go to that high school. That's amazing. Sorry.
You are kind of a staple. I think in the BOA world. I could be wrong. I know I've heard of them from either WGI or BOA. But yeah, it's a cool name. You see Dartmouth down here, right 19th frame. So Blue Springs, some familiar names. But yeah, lots of good stuff in Scholastic Open. All right, going back. And let's go to Scholastic World. Number 1. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the phew.
I'm telling you, man. I was looking at that this weekend. The ranking was like, oh my gosh.
Look. I caught all of the Scholastic World and Independent World in color guard at the Indianapolis. Yes, Indianapolis Regional, because I think I switched back and forth between Indianapolis and the Atlanta Regional for the color guard, and Tarpon Springs.
That show's pretty cool.
That is very creative, and I hate them for it. Not a bad hate, good hate, because it's frustrating. It's frustrating when you see such creativity and talent, man, and it's gonna be so tight between them, Carmel and Avon, and golly, man.
I was watching the.
I'm reframing to try to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil it for nobody. But you gotta watch it, man. It's just like how I've been hyping up Amp Winter Guard from Independent World.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see Tarpon before the season's over with. Find Tarpon. It looks like so you can see the finals.
I was about to say, it looks like they're going to be in finals.
Yeah, 100%.
By a little bit.
So you got Tarpon Springs and Carmel High School tied right now at the top for seeding purposes. Avon High School third. Another very entertaining show. If you want to see exchanges out the wazoo, watch that Avon show doing Jane Bond. They are fearless.
That audio track is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's dubbed very, very well. They do. If it is an iconic James Bond show song, it's in that show somewhere.
See, that's what I like about those top three groups is that the tracks that you hear are not the most common tracks. Like, I love Tarpon Springs with that jazzy vibe, and like, James Bond. Like, it's just it's unique to those groups,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes a lot of the guards we see kind of fall into that same kind of genre of music. I think it's kind of cool to see a little bit different tracks in there. So I really enjoy those.
You got the Williston fourth and then Miamisburg fifth. I really like that show.
I like Miamisburg.
They used Jacob Collier's Moon River. So if you've never heard that, you need to check that out. That is ridiculous in itself. But that show is just it just takes you somewhere else, man. They do such a wonderful job with it. All around that floor just sucks you in with the color scheme that they're using. It's this blue and it's so good. It's so good. Like, glad that they're doing well.
Just so good you just break your mic.
Well, my cat just jumped out in my lap. And he wanted to take the headphones with him. But it's awesome. Like I wrote that one down. I was like, I need to make sure I talk about that one because that name on it. Because I was just like, this is it. This is legit. So kudos to them. That's your top five. But man, Arcadia, Northfield, like all of these, Kiski High School, Kiski area. That show was awesome too. Chino Hills in the guard world. You used to see them up top, and that, and then some BOA names. Mo and Green Johnson, who made a statement in the BOA this year. Looks like they want to make a statement I wonder if it's a new school.
It could be.
It's
a school new to the activity just in general.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe I just don't know enough about Texas Beans.
That's true. That's
too many
to start your art.
Who the hell does? It's like 4,000 in Texas by itself.
Yeah. So.
And that's just the western half.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ain't even the whole state.
We're talking about the Panhandle here. But yeah, it's just all these. You're not gonna go wrong with watching any of these groups.
Mm-mm.
Like it's Scholastic World. So lots of good competition happening there. Excited about that. Moving on to our independent class. In independent A, your top five right now. Pacificators?
Sound it out.
Pacificators, maybe? Let's go with that. Pacificators.
Sounds about right.
Let's roll with that.
Apologize to
whoever that is.
Our Canadian brethren for messing up that name. We apologize.
Listen. It's just like it is out here. I was like, first of all, where y'all finding these names? Y'all making y'all looking at water streams and mountains and tree limbs and coming up with a name. How is this a name, bruh? The Pacific Northwest, like they tripping out here. It's like this is not, what is the Sammamish? What is it? What is Sammamish? Is it a sandwich with ham and cheese?
Oh my god!
When you're allowed
I'm gonna get kicked out the state. Look,
when you're allowed to partake in certain recreational activities, you're going to come up with some weird names. I
promise you.
So.
But I mean, if you look, 2 out of the top 5 is from Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw that too. I was like,
it's WGI. It's Renegade International for a reason. Right. Purdue University sitting second. I can say that. Collage third. Les Eclipse.
The proper way to spell it.
The right way instead of us with a K. Sitting fourth, and then the Magnolia Project sitting fifth right now. So, good battle in A. Tampa Independent A still up there. Nor Some other names that I'm looking at. Eclipse A, said 13 for Carolina Vision. Onyx's A guard is running out. We got gold. Nasindra. Out of Colorado. Colorado must be doing some things over there. I mean, besides, the good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some cool stuff happening in Independent A. Where are we sitting here? So yeah, Onyx Gold, talked about those guys. So got a nice little battle going on in Independent A. Moving along to Independent Open. Your top 5 is Vox Arteum. Is it?
It's a good show.
The Pride of Missouri State. Etude Open. Pegasus. Etude Open is?
Yeah.
Pegasus Winter Guard. And that's their open class group. And then Origins Open. So a lot of our feeder programs, their open groups are faring pretty well, looks like.
And it's crazy, man. You got so many people and fans, everybody just always is driven to the world class all the time, man. But y'all miss so many golden gems in these other classifications, bro. I'm telling you, Alta Maria, I sit here looking at them now. Like they're like, and I'm just talking about color guard right now. I ain't even talking about like drumline or drum corps or any of that other stuff. Get out of those top groups and get to these lower groups because they spin out some fire stuff.
Hold on. Okay. All right. I thought I saw somebody somewhere, and I was like, wait a minute. Maybe that was their A guard. That was their A guard. I saw this.
Come on.
Anissa Dora.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the A guard that I was thinking about. I was just like, wait a minute. Is there A guard being an open guard? What's going on?
Both classes.
I'm just glad I pronounced the name right this time. And I didn't know. Did you know Blessed Sacred have an open group?
An open, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because that World Group.
Oh boy.
Is not gonna finish it.
So around that 15 range, man, we got 3 retired for 11 for I Squared, Mainline, Glory, Emerald, Furry Legion, and Isadora, Top Hat, NBI, FIU, Gold. So, man, lots of battles going on right now. I like it. Guard is exciting because you never know what's going to happen with them.
Bro.
Right.
You see it.
And there it is.
And there it is. But did you see this under here?
Listen,
I know, man.
Listen. I can't call that this will stand come finals because if I'm not mistaken, none of these have been head-to-head yet. And they've been popping these numbers at their respective regionals individually. Mm-hmm. So for me, I've been looking at it as there's no way that there's going to be any spread within that top 3. And that's scary because all of them shows, and I've seen all 3 of them. And it's so crazy because I want to even I would want to put Fusion and Onyx into that mix too. But them top 3, God, it's just blessed. They put it in their own name, man. Like, how arrogant can you be? Put it in our own name. Just bless it. Look, but seriously, all jokes aside, they fire shows, man. Every one of them fire. What it's gonna come down to is who's gonna lay it that day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's gonna come down because it scores. If there's a gap, something's wrong. In my opinion, somebody did something wrong in the judges' box because there should be no gaps. It should be so tight, like all the boot holes need to be tight in that arena. Because look, I'm telling you, man, it should come down to who is going to lay it that day. Do not.
The only ones that went head to head are Pride and Onyx, I think.
I'm about to say, I think they're
No,
the Dayton
I
region,
meant the top three.
Oh, the top 3. No,
No, out of these rankings. No, I know Pride and Onyx because Pride has been getting Onyx the past couple of shows. I know they've gone to 2 shows together. But I was talking about like just Blessed Sag, Paramount, and Pride of Cincinnati. I don't think those 3, if we're talking about these rankings, have gone against each other yet.
I mean, 2 points between Pride and Onyx, that's a significant gap.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, not by the sheet standard, but still 2 points, that's a lot.
That's hard. That's hard to make up. It's tough.
And that Onyx show is beautiful.
It is. And they had in my opinion, they had a fantastic finals run. I was like, this is not what I saw in the beginning of the season.
I mean,
but then Pride came out and was just like.
I mean, you can just look at that list and just, if you don't watch nothing else, watch Independent World.
At least.
You will not be, you will be entertained the entire time.
And I will still hype up AMP as I've been, because they sitting 11th now.
Yep, that's what it looks like. So you can't. That's the thing about it, man. I love shows like that because it's going to be outside of the realm. Give me something that's going to catch me off guard or just going to take me somewhere that I'm not used to being. You know, like those shows that take a risk and don't follow the necessary formula. Those are the ones that are memorable. And that's kind of the thing I've been telling my kids, this year. And I was like, you know what? We got a memorable show. I was like, and we're just happen to be playing it well too. I said, but let's let that be our shining point. Let's play to where if we don't win, people are pissed off that we didn't win.
Right.
And some of these groups are going after that. And the AMP will be that group that people are going to be like, yeah, that show was freaking awesome.
Yeah. It's memorable, man. It's good stuff. Like, I even like Justification or...
Juxtaposition?
See, I can't talk either.
I like that word.
Juxtaposition.
That's why I could say it. That's one of my favorite cadet shows.
Yeah. Fantasia's got a fantastic show. Like, I mean, that's why I keep saying, man, we're always drawn to the world class, the top of the class, the top 5s, we're always drawn to that, but man, you can't let your guard down on these other folks, man.
And guards, you can switch around real quick.
Yeah, so we talk about all the time, like when we first started this podcast with the DCI season, like, you're always going to know the groups at the top, but the ones at the bottom, there's some really good battles down there too that, and a lot of good shows that a lot of people just kind of like don't see because they just don't tune in until the top 5 start,
I'm going to tell you 6 through 20, all of this, that could look completely different after prelims.
Oh yeah, it
completely different. When you get everybody together,
and I've been saying it all season. I guarantee these places are going to change. I promise you, they are. That top, they take 15, right?
Yep.
That top 15. Please believe me.
You're gonna get your money's worth with them.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't let these ranking systems fool you. That's why I said, especially in at least talking about guard, them top 3 should be like this. There should be no spaces, none.
Well, problem is we won't see these 3 go against each other until probably semis.
Yeah.
With 30 some odd groups,
because they're going to be 4.
There'll probably be, I would say, either 3 rounds of 11
groups.
It'll be 3 rounds of 11 or 4 rounds of 8, with a couple with 9.
And how do they pod those? Like how do you know how that works with that?
So there's a couple of different ways they can do it, and it's in the book, and I could look it up, but I don't feel like finding it right now. So I'm going to guess, which is probably really unprofessionally, but here we are. So they could either snake seed it, like the NCAA tournament does,
Gotcha.
So going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. So like 1 and 8 go against each other.
Yeah.
So they can either do it that way, or this is kind of what SCGC does, or from what I understand, if they say there's 4 rounds, they'll take. Say there's WGI. What they do?
Those 4 won't go together.
No, these 4 won't go together. What they
might
do?
Get 2 out of them to go against each other, but they'll be split up between them 4 rounds.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same thing like in percussion, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
They put them in neighborhoods. So like SCGC puts them in neighborhoods. So they take out everybody that's ranked, and then for performance order, so like they may take the bottom 3, and then they randomize those 3 in that order, and then do the next 3, and then randomize those 3. So they probably split them, like I said, at first, and then put them in neighborhoods.
And randomize them, yeah.
And then sometimes your postmark date is when you sign up for championship. That dictates your spot too. So it's a few different things. But if I was to guess, they snake seed this to give the top seed the advantage and whatnot. And that's how you get crazy things happening.
Exactly.
That's how you get crazy. And then, like for their rounds, they usually take like the top 3 or the top 4 in that round, and then so say there's 4. They're probably, well, depending on how many rounds they do. Say they do 3 rounds to make semis. They'll say, all right, we're going to take the top 5 in each round plus the next 5 high scores.
Yeah.
Regardless of round.
Yeah. And that's
why I say. Mm-hmm.
Some people get weird with that because then they'll start looking at the scores. I was like, well, you can't look at the round score and compare it to that person yet. Like, you need to hold off. It's a good score to get them there, but wait until they actually go head to head.
Yeah. So theoretically, like if your round is just a killer round and you finish 10th, but your 10th place score in your round is higher than the 6th place score in the other 2 rounds, you still get in.
Yep.
Buddy.
Yeah.
And that's why it's wild.
Yeah. So it was so many numbers. It's crazy. I mean, you can.
Because this is why we were saying, like in the beginning of these podcasts, or in the beginning of these seasons, when we started seeing these low 80s and stuff like that, we were like, we were like, that ain't. Y'all don't want to be there right now. So it was like the higher you can get, the quicker you can get and maintain it, the better your chances is come when this stuff starts happening.
So, like if you see how there's like 2 SA prelim sites, so at each one of these prelim sites, there was one, so like 4 rounds at each. So they had 8 rounds. So like they probably said, all right, top 3 in rounds. And all the rounds go, and then the next 6 high scores, regardless of rounds, in round 1 and 3, or 1 and 2. So, like this 4th place group scored an 87.8. This one scored an 88.9. This one scored an 88.6. So, like these are all around the same neighborhood, but had this group been up here, maybe they would have scored higher. Maybe they would have scored lower. I don't know.
That sounds like the woman, the person I teach with beside me. She's a math teacher. She's also our school's dance team coach. They do something similar to that in their national dance team. They have those groups like that, and they take the group with the most, and they move on to the next realm there.
I didn't realize that you didn't see the screen where I had the rounds put up.
I was about to say your screen share is not working.
Yeah, no, it's where this tab's open. I would have had to open a different tab.
Okay.
I just would have had to share a different tab.
I understand what you were saying though. So.
Yeah,
you described it very well. So
thank you. I'll try. Listen, I like stuff like this. Like I love brackets. I love how they think about all of that stuff. So like, it kind of interests me. Percussion is not as deep like that, because there's not as many groups. But I mean, it's similar, but they don't have to go into much detail about it. All right. On to Perk World. Yay, Perk World. Anything else about guard while I get that set up? Besides watch stuff.
Yeah, watch.
All right.
The baby blue coats.
See, look at you.
All right. When they brought them dang speakers out there, I said, "What is happening?"
They're gonna do what they do. All right. So Scholastic Percussion, Scholastic Marching A. We got Oak Grove sitting up top. Vanderbilt Catholic, Hempfield, Unionville, and then Warren Central running out their top 5 in Scholastic A after the last regional weekend. The only regional score in the top 5 is Unionville with an 88.7. So that bodes well for them. And that was last week, so pretty good. Kind of on the bubble, we got Sycamore 14, Noblesville 15, North Forsyth 16, Chantilly 17, Springford 18.
Okay, so real quick, you have to go to a regional to go to World Championships, right?
Correct.
Just one.
Just one.
So, are there not groups that have gone to a regional yet in that time?
Yes. So they have, but this is their most recent score. So their most recent score was not a regional score.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's where I was.
They're pulling up circuits too.
Yeah,
I was like, hold on a second.
That's why. That's why I like drum rate, because they actually took the time to go to each circuit and find the score.
Yeah,
it's like
okay. I was like sitting here. I was like, aren't they supposed? But that makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, no. All of these groups have gone to at least one regional. At least one.
Just the whatever that is. That an asterisk or a?
The asterisk is.
That means that's a regional.
That's a regional score. Yep.
Okay, there we go. All right, there. I'm good. I'm good now.
Yeah. Now you're not going to see any arrows because you can't get promoted to A class.
Yeah.
And I don't think they demoted anybody. So that A class looking pretty good. And as you can see, we talked about 85 being a good number to be sitting at. It's your top. Most of your top 13, 12 are sitting at that 84, 85, 86 range. So if you're sitting there, you're probably feeling pretty good about your chances at making finals. So pretty good for them. All right, moving right along to Percussion Scholastic Open. Norwalk sitting up top, Kettering Fairmont second, New Milford third, Lake Orion fourth, and Pace. Looked like they had a big weekend this weekend. Moving up 87.
Jumped
3. Yeah. Victor J right behind them now. Clover. I wonder if they're still around the same size, but that was the group that won A class last year, so looks like they're adapting in the open class pretty well.
Yeah, that was the Medusa show we reacted to when that was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Ravenwood looking pretty good. Pearl, watch out for them. Then around Bubble Line, Northview, who got promoted. So hope if they can keep it up, that promotion is going to pay off. Greenfield Central, Mansfield 16, Central, Dauphin sitting 17. So these guys still have a shot at making finals and whatnot. So, yeah. Scholastic World, Dartmouth.
Let's
we go.
Go.
Wow.
Sorry.
So Dartmouth sitting up top Scholastic World. Chino Hill second, Ayala third, Avon fourth, Arcadia fifth.
That Arcadia show is nice. It's different. It's so different.
Oh my gosh, who was it? There was it might have been an independent group. I think it was an independent group. It might have been Thesis. Yeah, I think it was Thesis. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, lots in there. Old Bridge saying, "Don't forget about us. He gonna bump us. We gonna go on up there." And then Bubble Line Homestead, pretty cool show.
I like it.
Franklin Central, Sparkman right on the edge, and Boswell right on the edge as well. Fisher's indoor line, because they don't need all the percussionists to do the concert.
We have enough to do both.
It's like, you know what? Fisher's just
so. Still want to see this a little bit higher.
Who? Dorman?
Was that the show you were talking about last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, man, when they get together, bro, I see a lot of this changing around. For some reason, I feel like Sparkman's going to cause some upsets.
They could. They typically do. And they haven't been out since the 11th.
And I think that Homestead will get a decent push. It's a good show.
Yeah.
They got some screws to tighten up, but man.
Lots of good happening. But watch out for this.
Please, Jesus.
Right, dude.
And maybe even this.
Do it for the people.
I don't know about this. But we just.
But the Al Yala show? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Concert World. Newman had a big weekend, looks like. 84-4, West Claremont, second. Warren East, third. Kent McKinney.
Wait, where's Newman out of?
Huh?
Where's Newman out of?
Georgia. That's the group we went against last week.
Yeah, the chains and all that kind of stuff.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Canton breaks into the 80 range, and then Lewis, Cass, and East Central, they have their state championships this weekend. And Otaka went out to Dallas. So if this doesn't break set 80 this week, I think this is your race. And I really think it's a 3-man race.
Yeah.
And if you really want to be honest, I really, really think it's a 2-man race.
Yeah.
If I'm being all the way real. And if you don't know what show I'm talking about, then you need to watch the podcast.
Mm.
Do that.
And then you know. Cleveland said, "Hey, no."
Listen.
You go ahead and go back. You go back there. Go sit down.
Listen.
No.
Damn, Mike. Listen. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that open class battle just got heated up.
Yeah, it did.
Listen, I'm excited to see concert, not just because I'm in it, but like we got some battles. And it's all because WGI was not afraid to bump people that needed to be bumped.
Finally, bro.
So, at some point, we probably need to bring Terry back after the season, and since he was on the steering committee that helped make those decisions, and be like, okay, what was the motivation behind so many promotions this year?
Because it was outrageous.
It was a ton. It's more than I've ever seen. Oh, I need to talk about that. Remind me about that when we get towards the end. I'm going to show you something that's interesting that the first time I've ever seen it. And in Scholastic World, Concert World, Fisher's up there, but Ayala made a big move. But they didn't win the regional.
No, they didn't.
That's the crazy thing.
I like the show, but
yeah,
I was saying the same thing. Yeah.
The top of Ridge still up there, Corner Foden and Tunstall, but these guys haven't gone out in a while. So anything can happen there.
That Fisher show.
Yes, I still need to watch it.
It's not fair to society.
I need to watch it. Score like 1,000, I'm sure. So, but yeah, concert class, and just this week they bumped it all to Nutter. So concert class is going to be a Nutter, nice. both for prelim and finals.
Just push them down. Push them down.
So, Ain't no hill there.
No, it's flat there. I remember that.
That's flat there.
Yeah. Dayton's like the hill of Dell.
Dayton's the hill. You just got to walk around another.
Yeah.
And remember when we practiced
that parking lot and
the,
like
the Dust Bowl?
All of them in them rocks.
Yep.
Gosh, man.
We're going to jump down to wins for just a quick second before we get to the independent class because we haven't talked very much about them. So, in your independent A class, you got Vortex, EVA, Westerville, Ethereal, and Empyrean. There looks like Vortex has got a pretty good grip on that one in independent A. An independent open, LSM with another big gap over Valhalla and Chromium. MBS at 4th. Evidence in Chaotic is 6th. And then Independent World wins Strike. Now, this is going to be kind of a battle between Strike and UTR GV. And it looks like, no, they didn't go head to head.
Guess we don't get to see no more.
Yeah, it just let us know.
What?
It said, shut up.
Your share was like, yeah, you're done sharing.
Where'd that come from?
Oh, no. Don't be sharing the wrong tab now, Cedric.
No.
Right.
We don't need none of that happening.
Listen, sometimes, what is you doing?
Yeah.
You on some other stuff over there. Anyway, so Strike and UT
love.
RGV. Never mind. I almost said the Android 18 Krillin thing.
Yes.
Anyway, Horizon Legacy and Elevate in the independent world. So you got a little battle between those top two right there. Wiz Classic A, Bob Jones. Really shocked they didn't get promoted because they kind of spanked the class at the Mount Juliet Winds Regional.
Yeah, they didn't go and get out.
But they are still there. Elk River and then Kent City, Brandon, Father-Ron sit 5th. So there's that. You got 10 groups going, 11. Somebody didn't get a score, so we'll be seeing if they're allowed to go. Open class, Dartmouth, 90.1. Big number. Davis County. They took the Mount Juliet Regional in open class this past weekend. Westfield, 3rd. Miamisburg, 4th. And Robert Villa said 5th. Mount Juliet is right behind them. John Harden. Were they at that show? Yeah, they were.
Like it.
It is regional.
They were there. So, yeah. So that's what we got going on there. And in Scholastic World, you got Avon, 92.5. Get out to class. Cleveland.
Get promoted to independent.
Yeah. You are now independent open. And probably will win that class too. Anyway, Cleveland, 88.975. Greenfield Central, 84.35. And then Lake Hamilton, 6-4. Here's what I think they need to do. I don't know how you do this. Well, I know how you do it, but I don't know how feasible it is. Since there's only 23 groups going, either make them do a premiere show the first couple of weeks out and then put them in a classification.
I was going to say the same thing.
Because
there needs to be no preseason, almost like no preseason ranking. Like you just need to wait.
Because this and probably this and this and this and this would probably beat this.
Yeah. That's why I was
and this would probably beat some of this.
Oh, Bob Jones would probably be.
I put Bob Jones either 5th or 6th right now, maybe 4th.
I mean, they're
like this is because you got to look at it. If you say that, if you say what you said, it's basically the same stuff with these A groups and these open groups that have been getting promoted. Because look at them now. You got open groups that are about to make finals. Just got promoted. It's like, yes, you are comparable.
And I don't see a women's group being promoted.
I don't think any of them did.
I don't think either.
No.
They're probably looking at it as wins is still being so new. They're not going to do the
possibly
for them, but they should have.
Yeah. That might be the thing they look into next year. I know last year they promoted because Davis County got promoted. They started the class. I seen that show, the very first show, and I was like, this is not A class. All right. What is we doing? And then I think the next weekend out there, name. All right, Independent A. Top 5. Pop.
Next time on Modulation Z. Sorry, guys.
I appreciate the joke. Huron Valley, 3rd. North Star, 4th. Vortex, 5th. And you got Crystal Lake Group Pursuit falling in. All of these guys will make finals. So, yeah. But, man, what in March?
Yeah, I saw that, and I just...
Was there a penalty? Please tell me there was a penalty.
I don't know.
Here, I'll look it up.
All right, you looked that up.
Yeah.
So, pretty tight battle for the first couple spots there. We'll see how that turns out. Independent Open. Maraca. Actually, listen to the dude when he pronounced it this time. America. I thought you said Maraca. Anyway.
Wait, who?
The first group. Maraca. Anyway, that group right there, they were good. They played real good right here. It might have been them. There was somebody's battery flatline that just played so clean and so controlled. It was either them or Thesis. But I was just like, I see why they're finishing. It might have been because I was like,
wait, because I think I know who you're talking about.
I was just like, this is so good.
They had a half a point penalty.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
No. They should have just not had a penalty. Okay. Motor City, Bakersfield, that's a good show. Spartans and United Percussion 2 run out your top 5 vision. Like it. I'm a fan. And we talked about Civitas last time. They got some good stuff. On the bubble, Cap City 2, Crossroads, Atlas, and Breakthrough, and Nomad. As well as Mount Juliet, sort of on the bubble.
Matrix open, get your electronics together.
Boy.
That's it. Get it together. Because I want to see it.
And in Independent World, Pulse. If you didn't know what that sound was, that was an exasperated will of seeing the sheer hugeness of the number that Pulse scored this past weekend. Yeah, 94.925.
We will not go back into that conversation.
No, we won't, because that's another 30-minute podcast.
Just talking about that, yeah. So
off air. We were. Yeah. So you got that. RCC said second, Broken City third, Rhythm Max fourth, Infinity fifth, and then you got United Percussion 6, Make 7, Quest 8, Cap City 9. Now 10.
It's so aggressive. Cap City 9. Pow!
Just start saying syllables from here on out.
MCM 11, George Mason 12. Thesis. I like this group. I like them. It's really cool. They drum really well. I'm a fan. I want to see it. I want to see them do the thing. Infinity, too, is about to mess around.
Dude.
And make finals.
When they all see each other. When they see each other. I I've been trying to tell some other people this that I've been having conversations with. I was like, look, y'all, be cool about the scores and stuff that you're seeing now, but when they all start seeing each other, y'all done sat up here and messed around and let Infinity 2 get in the mix. And that show was good. Mm-hmm. And then last year, y'all messed around, let Blue Knights back in the mix. I was like, look, y'all got a lot of people who just got bumped out of finals and who are coming into finals.
Yep.
Watch what I heard. It's just like last year. People were so hyped and crazy. You know, Troopers made finals for how many years, blah, blah, blah. You know, and you got Colts coming in. You got all these groups coming in the finals in this bottom tier. Watch this bottom tier. It's going to be just as crazy. In my opinion, is almost more to watch out for than that top five. That top five going to do what it do. Y'all know what that is. Y'all already know what that is. Go cry about it. Do what you got to do. But this bottom tier, 15, listen, hear me out. 8 to 15, god dog. Somebody going to cry.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And I'm going to tell you, gold, that show's underrated.
I just looked at gold and I said gold only needs to have that right show at the right time, and everybody going to be sitting there. Y'all gonna be in them bleachers. Instead of going to the couch, you're going to the bleachers.
Watching from the side. That's what about to happen.
Right. That show's underrated. It's so good. They move so well. So well. And that opening musical statement, that soundscape that they create, good God Almighty. It's beautiful.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
So yeah, lots of really good stuff happening. There's going to be this is going to shake up, but thesis, somebody figured something out pretty early over there. But I think I could see this jumping because this is going to get up there.
Yeah,
they're going to go to SCGC. I'm going to tell you now. Mystic's going to go to the SCGC and pop a 90 something.
Yeah, they'll be in the 90s.
Yeah, they'll be up in the top 5 probably.
They're going to pop a 90 something.
They'll be in the 90s. That's why I tell people don't let these rankings fool you. It's cool to see and it gives you a good visual out there and possibility.
So, all right. Before we head out, I do want to show you something that I found pretty interesting, which is one reason why I think they moved venues and things around. So we're going to show the current entries for each classification right now. Okay. Concert 17 groups, independent A 15, independent open 32,
man,
independent world 31, Scholastic 39A 42 Jesus. Open class groups.
My gosh!
Remember, they bumped like 17.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this, and even my kids even said it because they said, I listened to the podcast, and I heard you say that. It should be a bell curve. So most of your groups should be in open class.
Yep.
So this is like, I think, like the first time that I've ever seen it actually come to fruition. Because they bumped so many A-class groups.
They must have, we're going to have Terry on here. But they must have really talked about what they want the makeup of WGI to look like. Like, you know, and that's good. Your analogy of the bell curve is perfect the way it should be. Majority of people should be in open with the outliers being on the sides there with the world and A. So it's good to see. It's good to see them bumping as many people as they did this year.
Yeah, they were not afraid to bump folks, and I think they were pretty consistent about it too, about saying, you know what, you're trying to do open class stuff, and that's what people don't realize is if you're trying to do open class stuff more than you're trying to do A class stuff, then they're like, you want to be open, so I'm just going to put you in open where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what should happen. Yeah,
and especially if you are achieving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be trying and achieving. That's a recipe.
No, you got to go.
You got to go.
Creek, I think it's Creekside out of SEGC. It's either Creekside or Creekview. independent who got bumped to open. On their Instagram page, sometimes they'll do reels where the judges are talking.
Oh,
And one of the
Yeah.
And one of the reels was like, "Guys, I'm sorry, but this ain't no way in hell this is A class."
A class.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. I said, I've been hearing this all the time. I've been saying it. Ain't no way this is. He's like, this is fantastic, but ain't no way this is A class.
Yeah, like, yeah, you know you're done for when a judge says that on the tape. Like,
yeah.
I've heard, you got some open class elements. You got some open class, but when the judge is just flat out, ain't no way in hell this is A. Like, you might as well, like, all right, guys, let's get another minute on show on the floor. Like,
get ready for it. Yeah, just have it in the back pocket, ready to go, because it's bound to happen.
So, yeah, so it's coming. So, but kudos to them. Kudos to WGI for having the balls to do it. Kudos to those groups who are pushing their kids to be great and accepting, open class, because like it's tough and it is an honor. I joke around about not being it, not wanting to get bumped all the time, but at the end of the day, if a panel of people think that that's where we need to be, then that's
a quote unquote medal in and of itself to know like you're being promoted, like you are good enough to be in the next class. Like that's an achievement that anyone should hang their hat on, because that means the kids are achieving at the level that they need to be achieving at. You know, and
it just kind of
proves progress.
Yeah, it kind of just proves what a lot of people have been saying for years is how they've been needing to do this to begin with. Mm-hmm. People have been saying for a long time, people need to get bumped. They need to do this, and this. And it proves that y'all did the right thing. Because look at these groups who got bumped, who are hanging and causing mega upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes you got to listen to the people, man.
Yeah. So kudos to WGI for getting it right. I think they got it right.
Yeah, they did.
So, but do you think they got it right? Let us know in the comments below. What circuit championships are you going to this weekend? Who are you looking at to break out of the mode and all that good stuff? Be looking for some polls on the YouTube channel from us too, just talking about a few things and get your opinion about some stuff. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and not Twitch. YouTube. What you're watching this on, probably. You can also listen to us on Anchor.fm and Spotify. So if you like what you're hearing, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And all the good things. Fellas, any closing words? I didn't even say I was joining with Zach and Will today. I was just trying to get into it.
Hey.
But the thing is, not even Zach. That's great.
Chris, yeah, see? Even more so.
I mean,
sorry, force of habit. Anyway.
I'm getting shoved out, guys. I'm out.
No.
I'm getting pushed out. I'm out of here. Gosh.
So, anyway, for Chris and Will and Zach, who is, I don't know where he is today. He was doing something.
Might still be on the road.
He's playing his trumpet. Yeah, he no telling what he's doing. Anyway, I'm Cedric. This has been episode 32 of On the Back Hash. Be looking out for more React videos. I just posted a vlog. Check that out. Lots of cool stuff happening in and around the pageant yard. So, you guys take care. And as always, we are out. Go Florida Atlantic.